What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be continuing to show you how to make the Bendy and the Ink Machine custom exterior for, I guess, Chapter 1. This is part 3, and in this one, we're going to be finishing off the actual studio exterior, which will just leave us with the, like, road and parking lot and stuff for a probably fairly short part 4, but yeah, ignore the signs there. They were markers for me, and also ignore the button on the front here. This is a back to hub button. I think I mentioned that in one of these parts. I can't remember. But yeah, this is just for the map. Anyway, that is all. So that being said, enjoy the tutorial and I will catch you on the flip side. Alrighty, so for this, we're going to just keep working around the way we've been, and then eventually we'll end up connecting back on the front left. But that's not really important yet. I just kind of want to get the back right and, I guess, back done? Probably the entire back. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. But also maybe the left, because I don't think we have that much left, frankly, in general, so it might just end up getting finished. But you need to start off, you want to get out the following materials. Mud bricks, stripped jungle wood, mud brick walls, blackstone walls, whoopsies, there we go, mud brick stairs, oak door, whatever you want to block it off with. I know we went oak planks in the last part, but I'll go oak or frogolites here just because I think it's kind of nice to have that different. Spruce slabs and spruce planks. It figures we're one material short from finishing this section, but oh well. So to start off from the section we were on before, which would have been this one here, the like middle right. You want to take this back wall of it, and from the furthest end of limbs, which should be this row stripped dark oak, you'll go back diagonally left with a mud brick from the bottom. You will extend it back by 28. Just like so. And you'll see if you kind of like look over, it's hard to tell, but it looks like you should clear both these walls. And that should be correct, because these two should be the same distance, and if you clear this one, then you clear that one. But if you would need an extra block or something, that's unfortunate, because I don't think that would work anyway. But yeah, you'll end up taking this back mud brick and extending it left, which will, I guess, help you figure this out, by 68. Like so, and you see you're just beyond this little section here, which is that like back movie room with the screen, and then this is like the hallway that leads into it, if you can recognize it. Also, that back wall is 69 in total. So we're gonna do a fun little pattern, starting from the front mud brick and just working our way around. You're doing the following: you're going a strip jungle, mud brick wall, blackstone wall, mud brick wall, strip jungle. Each strip jungle will face up, by the way. Mud brick wall, blackstone wall, mud brick wall, strip jungle. And you're going to keep this pattern going just on top of that mud brick row. And you should end up on this particular side. You'll end with a strip jungle on the corner. And then when you work across, you'll end with a strip jungle on the very end over here. If you're in a situation to where you're like a block off or something with it, just push the wall over to accommodate for that, whatever way that may be. If you're one shorter, one further, or whatever. I can give you the amount of windows in a second. I don't actually know it off the top of my head, but hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. Wow, I've done that a couple times. And it should give you this. So, on the back, you will have, let's count, shall we? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 windows going across this back wall. And again, you can just see that you're one block further than this little wall of the hallway. So, you'd end up crashing into the closet there if you just went straight forward, but we're not doing that anyway. So, you then want to copy that entire row 3 more times. This will take a minute. I will warn you, but Yeah, and then that's like the main section here done. And we still have the upper section, obviously, that goes around, but I don't really think that'll take... I mean, it'll take a little minute because it is not just a flat wall with nothing on it. It does have that stripe pattern, but it isn't really complicated regardless of that, so... Might just have to take a minute to do it, but... You know. But, like, other than this section that we're currently working on, there's nothing else... Can I reach it if I stand here? I can. But there's nothing else. There's one section on the left, but it's a small one that just sticks out because there's a room there. But other than that, it's just that section. Once... Okay, really? Once this one's done. So, yeah. And then, obviously, we have the parking lot and stuff, which I'm... Like, ideally, we finish the actual factory or studio in this part, and then the next part would be doing all that. Like the parking lot and the just general terrain, which would be a short part because there's not a ton going on there, but, you know, I'll go over some things for sure, because there's a lot of little things that I was trying to figure out, like, what would make sense for. So, yeah. But we gotta get there first. And as you can see, we're not there. Walls are annoying. If you're having the problem where I'm having where they just won't place, like, slow down a little bit. Because if you click too fast, like you see like that, it just like 3 clicks and it's just like the middle one I think doesn't place. Because the walls changing positions screws with placing. I don't know why. I feel like that should be fixable, but what do I know anyway? I think it's like you click as it's trying to update the block and it doesn't like that, so it freaks out. You should have this. These are all windows, by the way, so you can turn some of the blackstone walls into sandstone walls, or even just like have them open and have it look into a little area, you know? From this point, you'll bring each strip jungle wood up by 1, and then the, you know, window sections... Sorry, the window sections themselves you'll bring up with mud brick stairs that face out. I don't know why I'm coughing. Had spirit build around the time of recording this, so that's been exhilarating. I'm a little tired, but it's my day off for it, so you know, I'm trying to like not force myself to record on those days because those are okay. They're not the longest. Like there's last year I feel like was longer, but it's a lot of, you know, physical work, so just kind of trying to not burn myself out, because generally I'm getting home and whatnot at like 7-ish, so you know, dealing with that is just not particularly the greatest. So anyway, next step, we're gonna do the little bit on the like left side of this that heads back towards the front. So if you take the bottom mud brick, you're going to... This one's going to be a little bit, I'm going to say loosely here, but you want to extend it forward by 6 with mud bricks. You'll go from the strip jungle pillar here towards the front with a mud brick, oak door, mud brick, strip jungle, and then 2 mud bricks. I'll extend the strip jungle up by 4, and then each mud brick up by 3, along with the oak door up with 2 mud bricks. Then for the consistency, I'll, whoopsies, not place oak doors. I'll place mud brick stairs on the mud bricks. Like so, and then I'll place ochre frog lights on the inside of the oak door here. Just so it lights up. For the roof here, you want to go around the walls that we have made here, and you're going to... I'm gonna, if you are going to like pick a example block like I will, do not use a corner, but I'll just use the strip jungle here. Directly on top, you're placing a spruce plank with a spruce slab on top. Within that slab, you want a spruce plank, and from the original spruce plank, you'll place a row of slabs outside, so it should look like this. Now, you might be like, why did you choose to, or what did you mention at the corner? You can get rid of your ochre frog lights and get out spruce trap doors. If you've seen my play care dome, and I feel like I did this for something else, but I could be wrong. As you're filling around here, you want to just like bring the planks around normally, you know, kind of like this. That looks really goofy. When you bring these spruce slabs around, on the corners of both rows, you're going to replace the very corner slab with a spruce trapdoor. It just gives you a little bit more of like a, I don't want to say a sagging roof, but I think it looks better. I use this for the locations in Playcare because they kind of had those weird curves on the sides rather than like the sharp angles. So I just figured that I'd try it out, and I think it looked pretty good. So I kept with it. But don't worry about filling in the actual ceiling or like roof yet, because we'll deal with that a little bit more later. But I will tell you to fill in a section now just so we can. But you'll end up connecting into the roof over here at the right side. Just because, yeah, and again, don't forget those trapdoors. It's a minor detail, but again, it just gives a little bit more character. The only thing for the spruce we're something like that, we're gonna fill in now is this back section. If you take the section here on the left where it's 6'4", the frontmost spruce plank, I'm just gonna bring all the way right, and then I'll fill in everything within this kind of area. We're gonna avoid that guy, because that guy is... I feel like I did something with that. I feel like something with that on the original was I had to trim down or something. It might have been a lighting thing, I don't remember. But again, for the most part, if you're having issues with that, just like take it off. And if you're having issues with the lighting showing through the roof, like there might be an issue over here. Oh no, never mind, this one won't. But you know, as always, you can seal those off. I honestly might just go around and pop blocks over all the lights so you can't see them anyway. But it's not really a huge deal, so don't, ow, don't stress yourself doing that. That kind of hurt a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. It's my finger straight into my desk. Anyway, moving on from that, yeah, we can clear inventory and get out the follow. Spruce planks, spruce stairs, mud bricks, stripped jungle wood, oak planks, spruce slabs, and I guess packed mud. I really think that'll pretty much finish off most of the exterior here, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna love the bendy head, but there's no point in getting at the stuff for that, because that's just kind of weird. Anyway, if you start from where we are here, you want to take the, like, frontmost row of mud bricks. And I'm just going to take this bottom one here, because it makes the most sense, I don't know. And extend over with 42 spruce planks. Just like so. And you'll notice if you connect forward, you'd end up crashing straight into a wall. We're not really worried about that necessarily, but just as a note. You'll extend forward from that with 11 spruce planks. And then a mud brick. You'll be a block away from that wall. I don't know why it's not flush, but whatever. Oh, I guess that's because of the pattern. You'll see in a sec. You'll extend to the left from that with 4 mud bricks. And then an upward-facing stripped jungle wood. You'll then extend from that point forward with 6 mud bricks, upward-facing stripped jungle wood, 6 mud bricks, upward-facing stripped jungle wood, 6 mud bricks, upward-facing stripped jungle wood, and then you'll go right with what should be 5 mud bricks, I do believe. Yeah. You will then extend forward from that with 19 spruce planks. And then you should be able to connect right into those composters you see with 25 spruce planks. And if that lines up, that means everything has been done correctly. Congratulations. We're going to ignore the spruce planks for now. I want to start with this mud brick section here on the left that sticks out. You're going to extend, or just copy the row one more time, actually bring each mud brick and strip jungle wood up by 1. That's an easier start than probably anything else. Nice. Extend each stripped jungle wood now up with an additional 5. Stripped jungle wood, just for the clarification there. And then the mud bricks, you'll extend up with 5 oak plank rows. And that'll give you a fun little wall section. This one was like the last one I did, so I was kind of out of ideas. So it's kind of just like a basic wall, nothing really crazy going on. I mean, there is still something going on, but, you know, it's not as interesting as some of the other ones, but that's okay. Still a cool wall. Well, not the coolest, but I'd be friends with this wall, whatever that means. We're gonna end up having to ignore the spruce planks here for a second because I realize you're like, okay, so that's the wall. It's not actually the wall. The wall's a block further in, which is why we've done some weird things with the corners and the area surrounding that. Directly on top of the walls we just made, you're gonna place spruce planks. And you're going to want to connect them all together and just kind of fill in the top. So again, this roof ends up going, by Mr. Light, it goes in line with the spruce planks on the floor around us. So just like, don't really think about that too much. But you'll place spruce slabs around those planks, at least on the left side, which is this side, and then the front and back. Don't go on the right, and don't overhang it all. You just want to stay flush. Time for those spruce planks to come into play. Each spruce plank you will extend up with a singular spruce plank and then a spruce stair. And these will kind of just connect as you would imagine they would connect, which is, you know, just facing outwards pretty much at all times. And they'll obviously connect on the corner, but nothing really else is important other than the corner. Wow, we're gonna finish this build with time to spare, at least in this part. But I don't like that, because I know if I put the parking lot in, that's going to take longer than the amount of time I'd have left by that point, so it's just like, it's awkward. Should have this. I'm going to drag the packed mud so it's next to the mud bricks because, yeah, this will take a minute. You're going to want to, from this wall on the front here, the like top floor one where we did that stripe pattern, you should remember me mentioning, I think that was first part, you should remember me mentioning that and just like how it'll be important. And it'll end up being this side. You'll really just take whatever this furthest block is. It's a packed mud for me. And you'll just keep going with the alternating mud bricks and packed mud. And I would kind of just like keep a check. And whenever you hit a corner, I would connect down to it. You're going to be, when you connect down inside of these spruce stairs a row, like so. You'll kind of see how that, the base of it is actually a block out. And for this corner here, the front left is mud bricks. And I think all corners might be mud bricks, actually. I want to say that's the case. I know the two on the left are mud bricks, and the two on the right would also be the same, but I'm pretty sure that they ended up being mud bricks. So yeah. And again, I'll just go back here, and once that wall disappears, I'll kind of check. You can end up bringing this down and doing it on the bottom. Just the only thing with doing that is that you end up having like a section like this. You'd still have to go up and around, so just kind of do whatever you want. And then when you go across the back, the line of point, do we have that? I want to say we did. Maybe? Kind of. So, let me make sure that it is actually there before I, like, say anything. Because I'm going to say something and then I'm going to be, like, horrendously off. Okay, no, yeah, I'm correct there. So, where the wall cuts off here for the ink machine room is where you'll end up connecting into. So you can essentially just like, I'll check that this is 4978, and I'll end up just tracing back, and that is 4978 there. So, yeah, it's a pretty far distance, but, you know, it's not that hard to get to. I'm also, I guess, processing now, like, even though this video will still be 30 minutes, 30 minutes is not short. And, like, I'm so used to the 40-minute parts that I'm like, 30 minutes is nothing. But I guess it really is still a decent length. I feel like a lot of people would take that. We'll just take that as normal. Yeah, so this corner is also mud bricks. And what I'm also going to end up doing is, you can't actually bring the front across because of that. So you can just mark in this corner and, you know, be like, yeah, about there. Essentially, the distance is just where the roofs that we have cut off go to. Since we ended up bringing this far enough in that last part. And again, that front right corner would be mud bricks, but we're never going to reach it. So you'll end up ending with packed mud, I think, there, yeah. But we're at the top, so I guess you'd end with that one, like, mud brick visible, it would be in here. Because you don't actually, I guess you don't need these extra blocks, but they're nice to have just to mark. But you'll end up with that mud brick there within kind of the spruce slabs. Hopefully that's easy enough, and again, you can just see how everything kind of cuts off and works. But yeah, you'll end up bringing each packed mud or mud brick down until you seal off whatever roof may be in your area. At the back right here, you'll end up bringing them down by 3, so basically they'll just be in line with the spruce plank. Since this little area here will be spruce planks, but we just haven't gotten to that point. So I wouldn't really spend time worrying about it. Most of the right and back are at the same distance, but not the entirety of them. And yeah, you can obviously change this pattern if you like. I just thought the mud brick and packed mud was a great combo because you have like 2 of the same color with vastly different textures, which really don't make them look like the same color. I think it's the darker lines on the mud bricks that really like makes it pop so much more. But oh, this hurts my hand a little bit. There we go, it's better. Just had to like move my hand so it was positioned better. And yeah, it'll be a whole lot of this. We'll get there one day. Once we reach the end of this section, like it's most of the back. This keyboard is so loud, I'm sorry, that's probably annoying. I like realized recently when ending your video, I was like, wow, that kind of is a little bit annoying, I'm not gonna lie, but unless you could tune it out, I guess it's also possible, but I guess I tune it out when I'm, doing this. Like, I don't think about the keyboard sounds. Okay. Yawn. One of these days we'll get there. One of these days. We're like almost... not really that close. Oh, Lord. I'm going to start doing it this way. I'm going to start doing all the mud and then all the mud bricks. Well, packed mud and mud bricks. There's no actual mud in this build. I don't think there's any actual mud in Bendy at all. I don't feel like I would have used a gray block. I don't think there's anything gray, but I could be just entirely wrong and forgetting. Who knows? Why does this feel faster? It's 100% slower, but it's like I gotta backtrack more. I don't know. Yeah. I guess it's a good point to mention BATIM Chapter 2 will be getting a tutorial at some point. I don't really know when. I wouldn't expect it anytime soon just because I have to get through Security Breach Atrium. That's currently the big thing. And then I'll probably end up doing it after that just because, yeah. Although, Baldy might be thrown in the center because Baldy needs to be done at some point. And I've had that build ready practically since the Ice Age at this point, and it just has yet to be used, so I do gotta get there at some point. I think that, would it have been, no, I feel like Security Breach Atrium would have been finished first. But Security Breach as a whole isn't finished, so that kind of, it's a bit unfortunate. This part's short, right? Yeah, this part is short. Front isn't, but... Oh, man. And then I'll probably just do the let's build for BATIM Chapter 3 and we'll kind of see if the Chapter 2 tutorial does well. I know Chapter 1's has been solid, but, no Poppy Playtime Chapter 2. Both Chapter 3s are kind of up in the air, I guess. I think I did say I wanted to in the Chapter 2 at the end of the Chapter 2 tutorial for PPT. Although I guess that's not out yet, but, too bad. But yeah, I don't really know about all that anymore. I mean, I would like to, I gotta actually, start working on that one again, because I just haven't touched it. Backrooms kind of overtook it, and then it was just, I've been working on general tutorial city builds since I realized that I don't have many, like, overall. Although I also have to do... I've got a bunch of statues I can do tutorials on. Which I haven't, because the next one I have to do is Doctor, and he's going to take like an hour and a half, probably, to record. So, You know, I'm just not about all that. Anyway, once you've done that, you should end up with this. There'll be a little bit on this front wall we'll have to remove, but I'm not worried about that. Did I? Okay, I did. Nice. I'm not worried about that necessarily. The roof that we did on the one section here on the front will end up going all the way around this section. I'm going to switch the stairs and slabs for the spruce, so the planks and slabs are next to each other. But so, just to reiterate on the opposite side of this roof, I'm replacing this upside down stair with a plank, or the stair, it's not upside down. And then I'll place the upside down slabs around the top row of the walls. It'll be slabs on top of the walls, planks inside of those slabs, and then up diagonally, and from those planks will be more slabs. And yeah, I think at the right side you'll have to bring the dark oak a little bit further to connect into the spruce, but I'm not entirely sure on that. Oh yeah, also at the back right, you might want to fill in this section of the this roof below us. That might be a good idea. Could be wrong, but it might be a little bit smart to have that one done. So yeah, I think I can officially say this will be 4 parts. So yeah, there we have that set, and then this one... Hold on, let me just get over there, because I want to see if I have the dark oak over, the spruce over... Okay, so on the corners where they would meet, I have the dark oak. So basically, where you have this, you see the spruce slabs and the dark oak slabs are going to connect at this block. I have a dark oak slab here. And then these dark oak planks would get brought back by 2, and the planks would go over. And then the spruce slabs for the final row would just come off of the dark oak directly. And just ignore from there, because it's not really... There's nothing further that we actually need than that for anything. The roof ends up being, you know, just filled within the space. I don't know what you want from me. So, yeah. Whole lot of roofing. And then, yeah, again, after this, we'll do bendy head, and then we'll finish the roof, because that's a big fill thing. And I just like putting those at the end generally. Thanks to our tutorials for that, concept. But, yeah. I don't know if we can... I did on the original. I sure hope that didn't mess anything up. I feel like I would have checked that, though, if it would have... Surely I would have checked if it screwed stuff up. But... Okay, I didn't need that anyway. Even though I definitely needed that anyway. So anyway, you should end up with this. Let me see if I can get myself back in time. You can clear your inventory regardless of all of that and get out the following. I can't get back in. Blackstone. Birch planks. Ochre frog lights. Black banners, block of coal, and blackstone slabs. I think that should be everything for that. I will need one more material to actually finish the thing itself. So you don't have to necessarily pick a specific block on this wall. Well, I mean, wide level you do, but like particular spot to start. We're gonna start from the left side of the head, so I'm gonna start from this bottom left mud brick, and I'll count to the 5th strip over. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. And from this particular mud brick, I want to count up by 1 and right by 1, and I'll replace this packed mud with an ochre froglet. Right of it, not in the wall, I'll place 3 blackstone coming off, and then I'll place an ochre froglet right of that in the wall. Off either ochre froglet, I'll place an upside down blackstone slab. Extend it up with a blackstone. Out with an upside down blackstone slab. And then I'll go up with 5 blackstone from either side. And you should go pretty much end up at the top from that, actually. Not the top blackstone, but 1 down on either side. You'll extend in with a blackstone, and then the center 3 blocks of the wall you'll replace with ochre froglets again. I'll place blackstone slabs off of those ochre froglets with blackstone below. Of this row of 3, I'll take the left and right blackstones, and I'll actually count down by 2 from them and place a block of coal right there. Fill in the rest of the middle of the head with birch planks. And off the birch plank above the block of coal on either side, I'll place black banners. The banners are the actual eyes. The block of coal are there, so when you get a certain distance back, he still has eyes, because he looks horrifying without them. There you see. They're a little low, but not really a ton I could have particularly done to make that work better. I guess I could have embedded them in, but yeah. I wasn't doing all that. Yeah, maybe you could try that, actually, if you wanted. Do it to where they're, instead of like that, you have them like this, where you have the upside down slabs, or even just like that, maybe. Does look weird from an angle still, but might look better just as a whole. Reminds me of Hollow Knight a little bit. Just a tiny bit. I got a tiny bit of Hollow Knight in that. Anyway, yeah, pick whatever you want. You can play around with it. I do think it looks fine either way. I think the other one looks less odd because you don't have 2 layers, but anyway. Only thing left is you need beehives, and the top of the roof here, a block lower than these spruce slabs, are going to fill in the ceiling with beehives. You should be able to do this with a /fill command. If you actually line up the front here, you'll notice you end up in line with this like row of the wall, so that means you're fine. I'll explain what that means in a second. Because I'm going to go into electrofly mode, and I'm going to end up kind of under this corner slab. And then I'm going to double tap whatever the fly button is for you. Or jump, I guess, to fly, and I'll end up kind of, you know, crawling in this area. And I'll copy this coordinate, whatever it is. I'll just use Control-Alt-C myself. But if you don't have the ability to do that, you can just note down the coordinates. And then I'm going to head to the other side, and you don't necessarily have to do the electrofly thing. You can just stand in this corner, but I like embedding myself in the floor. And I'm going to do /fill tilde tilde tilde, which is the current coordinate. Copy the other one in, beehive, and that's not how you spell beehive. And I'll do keep. You can, like, be picky about the direction. I'm not going to be. I'll just make sure when I replace this one that it's the same. But, yeah, because they are directional, it does matter when you're breaking and replacing them, or if you end up doing it manually. But since, again, I'm not, it doesn't matter at all. And, yeah, once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is part 3 of the BATIM custom exterior complete. Next part, we will be doing the parking lot and whatever the surrounding area is. I don't have a ton going on, but I will explain some things that you can potentially do, and just some ways to switch it, but, you know, like other options rather than the dirt path, because the dirt path really does limit you on any sort of greenery except for full blocks. I guess mangrove roots are an option for bushes and stuff, because you can't use dead bushes. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Oh, really? You're really gonna do that to me? Bye.